Okay, sorry about that. I was sending a text. Okay.
Okay, gotta get rid of that. Yeah, it was pretty loud. Let me adjust this. I gotta bring my desktop audio back down to like half. Howdy, Omega. How's it going? Welcome back. How you doing? Enjoying everything? Alright, now let me send out a quick tweety tweet. Twitch.tv/Grindtastic Games. And then copy this on over. Glad to hear you're doing great. I see you already put an everyone saying I'm live, so. Butters has switched up his streaming thing a little bit. Let's crush it. Yeah, I'm really bad with puns. I'm sorry. It wouldn't be a Thursday night stream without a can of Grape Crush. Am I right? Hey! I hope you guys had a fantastic week. I love bad puns. The worse they are, the better they are, is really what it is. So, you know, it is what it is. I was hoping Butter wouldn't stream tonight so that we had a chance to grow tonight, but Butter keeps streaming at night now, so I'm just glad I have you guys. I'm sure you guys are doing the multi-stream, so you're in both, but really, thanks guys for coming out. If no one came out, this would be Garbo. Straight up Garbo. Anyways, so you just got out of your best game? How did it go? Send a screenshot or something, you know? Yeah, there's some multi-stream thing that lets you put two sources from Twitch at the same time. Okay, so before we get started on the Twitch stuff, I said that I wanted to talk about Tryhard Ninja before we actually got started on anything. Yeah, my name's Blake. But so you know how last week we talked about Revenge, the Minecraft parody video? Well, hey Badger, I'm sorry you had to wake up, but I'm glad that you're here. So we talked about how they got their stuff struck with a like cease and desist and all that stuff. Well, apparently the like 30 seconds or 40 seconds of the thing that we played got struck on YouTube by Tryhard Ninja. So that douche is doing the exact same thing that gave them so much trouble the first time. The exact same thing. That's why I said we got to talk about this son of a bitch. Like, the exact thing that they complained about and fought for like 6 months, they did to me. And I only did like 30 seconds of the damn thing. So I also found out YouTube actually has this really, really neat thing where if you have a copyrighted song in your stream or in your video, it's not a stream at that point, but if you have it in there and you choose to remove it, they've actually got some crazy awesome audio like it can identify the different layers, and it actually pulled the audio off, but left my voice. And that is amazing. Okay, hold on a second. That's the part that was pretty awesome though, was that fact right there. But I thought it was hilarious how they, the person that we're talking about, how they had to redo everything because of because of them fighting a copyright strike, and he copyright strikes me. I mean, I understand that you want to protect it to a degree, but like it immediately flagged, which means he's having anything that matches it immediately uh immediately flagged and taken down. He doesn't like get a chance to evaluate it or any of that stuff. Let's see here real quick. I'm looking for it. You beat Hotline Miami? That's a very tough game from what I hear because of the, it's meception. What's the old version? What's the new version? So this was fine. This did not trigger the copyright alert. But what changed though? Omega? I don't remember how much we listened to this first one. But yeah, then of course, back whenever YouTube was first struck, without any on them. Like this one has 100. I don't know. This is the old version. I'll have to try and find the new version, I guess. Oh, you finished the biker part and you're confused now? What do you mean? Is it the end of the game? Biker part. I've never actually played it. I've seen a couple of parts of it, but I've never played the full thing. So I was just curious. Have any of you guys downloaded that Titanfall Assault thing yet? So this is what we end up with in our video after the YouTube like audio removal thing. Like this one has 168 million. It like slightly changes the pitch, but it kept my voice, and that's kind of awesome. But the song's completely gone. What? All right. That's just all I had to say on that, like, at the beginning, you know? So, boop. I need to download it. Yeah, the stream is safe. There was nothing with, like, there was nothing left. Since I got a new phone, I had enough space. Yeah, that's the good part about getting a new phone, is that you don't have all the extra shit on it. And the biggest thing that I wish that they would do, I know how they are, but the sucky part about my Android is that it comes with like 40 fucking things that you can't uninstall. You just can't. It's stuck on there, and no matter what I try, I can't get them to come off. They're like AT&T apps, so they're kind of like mandatory basically. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious about this with you guys. How many of you guys, whenever you get mobile games like Pokemon Go, or back whenever Clash of Clans was big, or Clash Royale, whenever it came around, and now with Titanfall Assault, how many of you guys actually put money into your mobile games, and how many of you just play it in its free form? I'm just curious. Felt System 32. I have not spent a single dollar on a single mobile app in my entire time of playing mobile apps. So G Money, you've spent maybe $10, $20. Not sure how much. I can't remember how much Hearthstone packs even cost. But Pokeballs, think you get 100 for like $1 or something like that. Badger. I may have already spent 5. Don't hold me to that though. Okay, that's not too bad. 2 packs for $3. That's $1.50 for 10 random cards. I'm not sure how much you get out of it. I haven't played Hearthstone in legitimately ages, so. All right. I guess we ought to get on to the main topic. We've been chit-chatting for about 10 minutes now, so on to the main topic, which is Twitch tonight. So, first off, how many of you guys create/stream? How many of you guys are just viewers? Because I know that that um, Atomic will make YouTube videos, but I don't think he actually streams. Uh, so viewers. Game Master, welcome. You're here when Butter is streaming. It gets your foot in the door. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. It's really hard doing streaming whenever you're this size though, because you just get demotivated. Like whenever not a lot of people come out, you start to feel like you're lost in the stream of a million Twitch streamers, which is why once again I like super appreciate all you guys, like for real, especially the fact that some of you guys are here when Butter is currently streaming on his. Uh, it's huge, and I seriously cannot thank you guys enough. It lagged your Fortnite super hard. Yeah, it can be that way. I'm curious if the Xbox has trouble rendering both all the stuff that's in Fortnite and streaming it at the same time, or if it was internet connection, where whenever you're trying to upload, it's taking too much of your bandwidth so you can't download properly. I don't know. Nice. Of course, my internet is redonkulous. That's different. The fuck? That ain't right. That's definitely not right. It says I'm doing 10 megs as a download, but I have an upload of 150 megs? I feel like that's questionable. Yeah, that's what I think personally. Like, this is one of the things that I wanted to talk about with all of this. Like we said last week about YouTube, it's really hard to get discovered because now their algorithms all put the big people who have already dominated viewership at the top where people are going to click. But then Twitch is doing the same thing, where like a King Ithalian, an Iniquity, a Butterbar, a I don't even know who the top people in like League of Legends, Dota, CS:GO, and Hearthstone are, but the top people of all those are the ones that get everything. And with that, it's basically discouraging people from trying to get into it. At that point, like right now, let me go into this. Browse. Let me turn on my internet thing. So we're browsing, we're going to communities, and we're going to look at IR. No, it's a game. IRL is a game zone. Where's IRL? Let me just search IRL. So, um, Don't throw your phone. That's bad. Okay, so we can see Andy Milonakis? What? How many of you guys remember Andy Milonakis? But yeah, like it's just impossible to really grow because let's see here. Um Hanging Out Q&A by Germa. I recognize that name from YouTube back in the day. Andy Milonakis, good luck beating him because he's literally a celebrity from back in the day. Uh oh, Dr. Disrespect. He puts on such a fantastic character. He has fucking earned all of it. But at the same time, I don't think he needs so many. Like, I don't think he needs Twitch directing people to him. Everyone already knows who Dr. Disrespect is. And, you know, that's all there is to it. But, like, look at this. Look at this. Girls, uh, some officer is live streaming their police car dash cam. Look at this. This guy's streaming while being an officer. Holy crap. And he's getting tipped like crazy, too. Some dude that's cross-dressing as Sailor Moon. That's going to get a lot of clicks. Some chick in a cat cafe. Some chick in a Pikachu outfit. I don't know who that is. Loudest stream on Twitch, part 69. So I guess he's just putting a whole bunch of shit in, basically. Some chick in her kitchen. Some chick just wearing a tank, or not even a tank top, just like a sports bra. Where's Mrs. Butterbar? What do you mean? Like, should she be in there? Is that? Oh, you're saying the officer. It took me a second. Cat thing. Tits. Ass. Tits. Tits. But point is, we have to go tits. Let's see here. We have to go like all the way down to these areas. Like, look at how far down we're going right now. We're all the way down here. We're like 3.5. They're not actual tits. Calm down. It's just Twitch.
What are you looking at?
Okay, come here. This is why I'm saying tits so much.
Oh, cleavage.
Yeah, it's cleavage tits. Like tits,
You're saying it's way down
ass.
there or whatever.
Yeah, like the thumbnail on them is tits. They say hi.
Hi.
But yeah, like we're like 4 full loads down, and half of them are.
All I
This
can hear you
guy's
saying is tits, ass, tits, tits, tits. I'm like, what are they looking at down there? What are
porn.
you
We're looking at
talking
porn.
about?
Go away. You're making it awkward. No.
No, what's even more awkward is you're on porn with a bunch of guys.
Yeah, it's just me and the guys looking at porn. But point is, crush it with that box right there.
Is this a brown clue?
No, crush it. It's too small. Crush
I
it.
think it is. It's really brown clue.
Crush it then.
It's a baby.
Twitch prawn. Twitch prawn. But point is, they could easily put something in there where it's, based on some sort of activity, or maybe every once in a while just like take some random stream from down lower and put it as like the randomly featured stream at the top, so that certain people can actually, do whatever.
I tried to smash him and he just came back alive, so then I smeared him on the carpet.
Sweet. Let me see here. Anyways, so if I go back down. Do. Where was I? There I am. Oh, damn it. So what was the clip of? I need to try and get to it.
Tits.
Yeah, it's of tits. It's probably of the moment that you come down and I'm like, yeah, Twitchception. It's me viewing me, viewing me, viewing me.
What the fuck is happening?
I'm turning off the internet window right now.
Alright, I'm going shower.
At your boy money. All right, see ya. I'm just chatting to the guys for a little bit.
They can't see. Hey, like that.
I'll see you later. Sorry, guys. So yeah, boop 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 boop. I forgot to actually have my bot running, so I lost that for a second. You know what? Let me just do this. Because I can see it in the thing right now. Twitch.tv. Relieved flaccid stingray. Whoa. I left out an L. I don't know what a facet stingray is, but I bet it's impressive. Ritz mitts. Alright. Twitch can be weird. 4 full loads down, and half of them are...
All I
This
can hear you
guy's...
saying is tits, ass, tits, tits, tits. I'm like, what are they looking at down there? What are they
Porn! We're looking at
talking
porn.
about?
Go away. You're making it awkward. Captured
No.
it flawlessly. Nailed it.
With a bunch of guys.
Yeah, it's just me and the guys.
But
looking
needless
at
to
porn.
say,
Point still stands. That
point
they
is,
need to figure out a way to actually promote newer channels and to actually try and uh, get these things. Just one sec. It was Mr. Badger. Wait, Badger, do you have a Twitter? I don't even know. Tweet that shit out. Share it with the world. But I have it. I need to actually. Porn is not actually allowed on Twitch. It's against the rules. Girls come really damn close though. But it would be very, very nice if Twitch could figure out a way to actually have the ability to get promoted in some way, because they're always on about their top like 7 people. And honestly, if they don't have a community that's able to grow with all of it, then eventually that well could dry up of people who want to actually start Twitch streaming or whatever. And it's a huge thing that if you can get, this is where hosting is great, and it's where community helps build it, not Twitch. So Twitch gave people the ability to host, as we all know, and at that point, like, your big ticket to success is that one of those bigger streamers in your area, whatever area it might be, is hosting you. Like, if you're starting a Destiny stream and you're smaller, maybe 200 followers, and King Gathalion does a host. Hi, iishiii. Oh, wait, I said that wrong. Aisha. Iishiii? Iishiii? Fuck. I know it. I think it was Aisha. I think. But that's the thing. Hosts are huge, and that's kind of the way that small communities can grow in Twitch. And it would be nice if they could give a featured area where one of those not top 5 channels can kind of have a spotlight on them saying, hey, check this out. This person is doing a lot to try and improve the quality of their streams. They're doing a lot to try and stream more often, and they're trying to give you guys a good, entertaining show. Boom, you know. And can you tell me if I said your name right or wrong? Because I'm sure I butchered it 4 out of the 5. I might have gotten 1. But how's your experience with Twitch? Because everyone here is a viewer except for me. So I want to hear from another streamer. What's your experience? What do you feel Twitch could do a little better or a little worse? She probably is, which is too bad. But oh well. Oh, she is here. So the viewer list is just behind. No problem, no problem. We're just kind of, talking about experiences with Twitch, how we think it can improve, things that we might, see as problematic and whatnot like that. Just a casual discussion for an hour about all that. So, she actually, her webcam doesn't face her. It shows her whole setup, which is a very nice setup, I might add. The lights and everything, and being able to see the 2 screens and whatnot, I actually very much like that. You're not abusing the cleavage like we just saw on, I don't know if you saw it a minute ago, but like literally like 12 of the top IRL streams right now are girls just with cleavage all up. So I definitely give a lot more respect whenever I see a girl gamer who is streaming and not just using the cleavage to get as many views as possible. So thumbs up. But I mean, Twitch is awesome. I do have thoughts on their bit system, but overall they do a pretty good job of making sure that their servers. I almost had systems. Oh yeah, I've got a Discord. Just one sec. I'll invite you in and we can have a little back and forth. All right, let me get an invite. But yeah, my desktop audio is currently streaming. But yeah, it's, there's just so much to talk about with it. While she's joining into the Discord and all that, I was just going to say that the one thing that I can think of, so whenever Bits, they first put out those advertisements where you could watch an ad and earn 5 or whatever bits, 5 up to 70, or I think a couple of people said they even got a full 100 bits in a single ad. I got 2 times where I got 75 of them and whatnot. You did give Butter a lot of bits, but personally, I saw the farming of those bits while it was still in the beta, before it was released to absolutely everyone, which I think they might have limited it somehow to people with either Twitch Prime or people with actual stream time under their belt, so that only streamers were actually able to get bits. But if you like Titanfall Assault, unfollow Grindtastic Kappa. But in recent time, after they released it to everyone in North America, so how bits work in that way is that we'll say EA Games comes to Twitch and they're like, we want to advertise with you guys. And we want to advertise, we'll say $500 worth of advertisements in a single day. So out of $500 worth of advertisements, Twitch says, all right, that means we will give away 4 million bits, 400,000 bits, however many it is, to equal $400. So they take $100 off the top. as like an advertising fee or whatever it is. So you guys are supposed to get it soon, Badger. So what happens is, I always forget to turn that off. So what happens is the um the whatchamacallit, uh okay, so they say $500 a day. So they take $100 off, that's Twitch's. Then $400 are are stuck into the bit pool for the day for EA. So at 12 o'clock midnight, whatever their server time is, it says we now have this many bits that people can watch an advertisement from EA for Titanfall Assaults, and they earn X number of bits, however much it is. But they don't cap off how fast it can happen or anything like that. So what's happening is everyone who's awake at like 1, 2 a.m. server time is watching ads constantly and getting all of those bits used up in the first like couple hours of the day. So then people like me or maybe people like I'm not sure if Badger's Badger's not, because he's not in an area that's able to get it. But if there was someone that was in an area that you're going to be asleep during the time that it's midnight to 1 a.m. server time, you're going to miss them too. So there's going to be this core group of people that are up late watching streams, getting tons of bits from the bit ads, and everyone else is going to get nothing. My solution to that one is make it so that the ads are actually spread out. So if there's $400 worth of bits, spread that out over the 24 hours of the day so that 400, 24, 100 per 8 hours, or 100 per 6 hours. So $100 over 6-hour blocks, and maybe make it every 6-hour blocks or something like that. So you could either divide it by 12 or by 6, by 12, by 24. You can do just about anything. And it would just be nice to actually have the ability to come in the afternoon after I go to work all day and actually earn some bits. Because I used to throw bits at my streamers that I watch all the time, and I can't do it anymore. I farmed bits like crazy to the point that like I had like $6 at a time or something like that. So, there's just all that stuff to it. And I do definitely like... Hey, Lou, how's it going? Lou, have you had much luck with farming bits? I know you're up late with Ravage a lot. They reset around 12 a.m. East. Did you say East Coast? Lucifer is a friend of mine from Sandy Ravage streams. He's been around for a while. He was around whenever I was like doing variety streaming. Like I was playing like Shadow of Mordor, and he would come in and say hey and hang out for a bit. He's a real cool cat, real good dude. But yeah, the bit system is actually fantastic, because this is... So I work at work. We deal with credit cards a lot. Did I actually say Sandy Ravage, or did I just say Sandy? So we deal with credit cards a lot at my work. And with that, I know how much a chargeback costs. And with that, so let's say that Butterbar gets a tip of $1, but then the person does a chargeback. So, no problem for the kid words there, Lucifer. But so he gets a $1 tip that then is charged back. So he loses the $1. But the way that credit cards work, if someone stuck a credit card onto a PayPal donation, is that the streamer who received $1 originally, in addition to losing the dollar, has to then pay a $15 fee on top of it. Bits removes this chance completely because it's already going through the whole process with Twitch, where Twitch is, absorbing the ability to fight chargebacks. So Bits have made streaming for tips insanely safer compared to how it used to be. And I remember Sandy Ravage a couple of times had, the so Sandy Ravage has some very awesome tippers. He calls them legendary tips, and they're $1,000 plus. And there have been people who donate $2,000 in a single night, dropping 2 nukes on the stream. There was someone who dropped, I think, 3 nukes. That's 3 $1,000 or more tips in a single night, and then they charged back all of them. So that would be a like $45 negative on his side. That sucks. You go from making 3,000 to losing 45. He banned the dude from his chat. Like he couldn't come in anymore from then on because that's insanely bad. So, there's lots of problems with trying to do businesses like that because in addition to that, he's got to, handle all the stuff for taxes and all that stuff. So having the ability to have everything centralized through one source, Twitch, makes things so much better. The streamers actually get 100% of the bits that you donate, where 100 bits is $1, because let me pull up the internet side. Streamception again. I'm gonna switch it so that it's not Streamception. So you click get bits here and it opens up, and you can see that you get 100 bits, which is $1 worth of bits, for $1.40, which means their markup is on the front end. So the streamer gets all of the bits. Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy, Lou. Yeah, there was one guy that literally would just go around donating an insane amount, and then he'd charge back it and keep moving along. Did they end up blocking that guy? I can't remember now. But yeah, it's really nice that they take it up front, because then you get $1 tip, you go, sweet, I just got $1. I can count on that dollar being there. And you can use it for games, you can use it for whatever it is that you're going to use it for. So, like, putting this all in one location, in addition to making it where you know exactly how much you're getting and all that, you're able to actually, like, so eventually you reach that point where you're getting your chunk of money that you're getting from Twitch. And if you're an affiliate or a partner, you get subs in addition to tips now. And it's all coming from one. Oh, Dr. Disrespect got a 39,000 from one dude in one night or in multiple nights. But it all comes in one big chunk check. That's the awesome part. That's the fantastic part, is that it's one source for taxes. You don't have to input multiple things. One night, a dude donated $39,000. Wow! And then back charged all of them. I wonder how large each donation was. Was it like $1,000 per So did the dude donate $1,000 39 times, or was it like, here's 5,000, here's 5,000, here's 10,000, here's 4,000? You know, did it add up, or was it all at once? I'm curious.
Hello.
Hello, how is it that I say your
Hello.
name?
Ishi. Was yeah, Ishi. Or you can call me Tiffany, but everybody calls me Ishi
Ishi. Okay.
anyway. How are you?
All right. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, actually. Thank you. I saw somebody post your link within the Discord in the Twitch the Twitch server, so I figured I would come by and just say hi and see what you have going on.
Excellent. Everyone is able to hear her, correct?
Oh, I don't know if everybody can hear me or not.
They
If
should
they
be able
can, I guess
to.
it's okay. Oh, okay.
I can
That's
see
fine.
the desktop on my OBS peaking whenever you speak, so they should be able to. Yeah.
Oh,
G Money just
okay.
said we can definitely hear.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Awesome. Mhm.
what's your experience with Twitch? How long have you been twitching?
I've been twitching since about 2 or 3 months after the release of the very first Titanfall.
Nice.
I played the Titanfall, the very first time since the beta, and actually, like, if there was more of like a stronger following for Titanfall, I feel like my channel would obviously be a lot larger than it is right now. But with
Yeah.
considering, Titanfall isn't that at the COD or the Overwatch, like for instance, if I would go stream Overwatch or something like that. It depends on the kind of streamer that you are. You're
Yeah.
either the cleavage streamer or you're I'm the girl that plays my boyfriend's Xbox streamer,
Yeah.
So there's different types, but actually when I first started streaming for many, many months, people actually just looked at my wall. And they would go into other channels and other people knew my stream by my wall. Like I would go in and say hi and they're like, "Oh, you're the one that has the wall on your channel." So it was
You're
actually
the
kind
one
of
with all the
crazy.
lights.
Yeah. Now I'm the one with all the well, I've been using my camera like every so often recently, but
Okay.
it's because it becomes that way. You know what I mean? When you're
Yeah.
a female, it's like, can I look down your shirt or what can I see in your shirt? And I mean, it's the stereotype it seems like so many female streamers have set for us, which kind of like
Yeah.
I like to play the game. I like to
That's the
play the
sucky
game. I want
part.
people to come in and watch the game, and then it's like I've had a couple of times where people have asked me to be like, "Can you flash me or can you do this?" And it's so stupid. I'm like, "No," but I will legit like not be ugly, but I will also tell them, you're
Yeah.
not going to see that here.
Yeah.
So
You'll put on
you
your
got to go over
makeup, you'll
there.
make sure you're presentable, but you're not gonna wear the super luck cut shirt just for the views. You're not gonna
Very, very true.
bimbo yourself out just to get higher view counts. And
You
that's
know
the
what? Yeah, yeah. I saw a photo. I'm trying to remember where I saw it. I think it was either yesterday or the day before. The girl was actually laying on her side. Like she was laying down on a bed, laying on her side, and her microphone was like by her mouth, and like you could see down her shirts. Like it was just,
the
you have an indifferent response. One, it's like, oh, let me go subscribe to her, and the other one is like, oh, that's really trashy. That is the
yeah.
problem with the system. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's the I can't remember who it was, but someone was talking about the other day. They saw someone that was doing like an ASMR thing, where
Right.
you've got all
Yeah.
the audio being gained from everywhere, and she
Mhm.
was just laying on her stomach so that you could see down her shirt, eating a bowl of cereal, and you could hear everything. So
Wow. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
makes it kind of hard for people who are actually like just nerdy video game loving girls to kind of come into it, because then everyone's reaction kind of ends up being this you know you're just gonna show your tits and get all the views, but it's
Right.
not the case for every streamer like you
Right.
yourself.
Right. Well, I mean, I look at it this way, like for some girls, it's their bread and butter. You know what I mean? Like some people, I'm not gonna knock a hustle by any means. If somebody wants to come in and stream, I mean, if the whole like if you've got it, flaunt it, that's on them. But I like to go in, I like to play the game.
Yeah.
I like to go in, I like to play Titanfall. If players like to see Titanfall and they feel like they want to spend some time with me, that's okay. Any dollar that I ever take into my channel goes directly into charity. Like my
Oh,
link
nice.
doesn't even support me. I mean, I've put in almost 6,000 just for charity this month. I mean, this year alone so far here
Very
to
nice.
Houston, and a lot of times that it does happen from close to 24-hour streams. Like some people know I'll stream for hours and hours and hours on end just to grind and just to play the game. And those are usually nights where you'll see all my rainbow. Because after a
Yeah.
while, you start to feel so worn down and kind of like just engulfed and just being so tired that, you just, people still want to see something. They want to engage in your environment.
Yeah.
So I give them rainbow.
Yeah. They like to see something. And you can also, at least with one of the angles that I saw on your stream, you can also see the TV and the computer right next to it both playing
Right.
as well. So
Well, I
it
have I
there's
have a
stuff
three
to look at.
monitor setup in front of me. I do it that way because, for instance, because I stream through Windows 10 via OBS and for my Xbox One, some people have asked me before, Tiffany, are you using a mouse and keyboard? And I'm like, no, I'm not using a mouse and keyboard. So if you're actually able to see my desk, you're able to tell, obviously, that I'm not using a mouse and keyboard because
Yeah.
there's just rainbow everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
All over.
yeah, but I mean, it's so hard to like. I Titanfall is the only thing I've ever streamed. I own other games, but when you come into that system, like the bit system, like I love the bit system. I
Yes.
like where like people can do little things, they can throw little things here and there. I like even more so that people can watch videos and earn bits because there are players that can't actually afford to do that.
Yeah.
So I think it's really, really cool that you can go around and you can support your streamers to the best of your ability, even with Twitch Prime. Like Twitch Prime is an amazing aspect of it as well, because it is multi-beneficial not only for, you to be able to purchase stuff on Amazon, but it's also a great way to support your streamers too.
That free
You know,
sub.
yeah, I've been in a couple of streams and I've heard girls say, "Oh, well, they just use their Twitch Prime because it's free." No, nothing is free. The streamer still makes money. Who cares whether or not?
The
You're still being supported.
Yeah, the
You
streamer
know,
still makes money, and that's just now a part of the. So I think it's $100 a year for Twitch Prime, and that just adds value to getting that membership because in addition to getting Twitch Prime shipping and getting uh, special discounts on Prime Day and all that stuff, you also get a free subscription every month on Twitch, which brings
oh
more
yeah,
viewers potentially to Twitch. Now that there's not just video games, but podcasts and people do creative stuff like painting and cosplay,
right.
build sessions and stuff like that. There's all sorts of stuff that people can watch and enjoy, and it brings users who may not have really known about Twitch over to Twitch if they're not super tech, you know, if they're not completely out of touch on how technology works, they can find just about anything over here. There's a
That's
streamer
true.
doing something, no matter what it is, I guarantee it.
Right.
But it kind of helps reinvigorate everything.
Right. And it does, and I think one of the best things, like that they have brought in recently is being able to subscribe and not having to be partnered. You know what I mean? And I get
Yeah,
it. Trust me, I get it when there has been, like for instance, Sager. Sager's been around a long time. He's got a really significant following as well as Iniquity, being able to get partnered. But sometimes those things don't happen. I think Iniquity like actually requested partnership even over more than 3 or 4 times and got declined quite a few because that's just the way that they are. But then people will always say, oh, well, this girl over here who is in Boob Nation who just got partnered, and they're like,
yeah,
why is it happening this way? And I mean, they say that there's a lot of different reasons, but primarily my focus right now is being able to allow smaller streamers in order to be able to network within their own communities
yeah,
and still take in the emote thing is an amazing thing. Not only has that brought in revenue for people who create emotes, but it's also brought in so many different things on for new streamers because, for instance, like I'll go into your stream, like I could put like I mean, you know how the emotes work,
yeah,
but I can come into your stream. A lot of people know Iniquities like watch Tone Die, and I got Halo had to create my watch Ronin
yeah,
Die. So I'll go in and I'll promote that, but it's cross promotion not only for that streamer in order to be able to get the emotes and the subs themselves, but also for me to go in and throw my watch Ronin Die. And there's a lot of people that like don't like to play with Ronin,
yeah.
and they
I
want to.
I get frustrated as hell whenever Ronin shows up in my face as a Legion is Bay for me. So I
Right.
don't have a lot of movement. My one dash goes away very quickly.
So
So
tell me about your channel. I noticed that you made it over to our comp side. So tell me about you and why you decided to kind of do a Twitch thing and like tell me your story a little bit.
okay, so uh, really I've been trying this for a while. I did variety streaming originally because I just kind of wanted to play things, whatever. Then I actually know Butterbar from real life. We went to high school together and all that.
Oh,
So
Butters.
whenever
Yes.
I saw him post on his Facebook, "Hey, I'm starting a YouTube channel," I was like, "Sweet, someone else with a super nerdy obsession with video games and YouTube. I finally got a partner in crime."
Right.
Of course, he ends up being the complete opposite of schedules as me, since he's a firefighter and I work a standard 9 to 5 type job. So often he plays during the day, as you know,
Right.
and spends the evening with Mrs. Butter. So,
Right.
I ended up just kind of streaming Titanfall for a while because, you keep it alive, trying to coordinate, hope that sometime he'll play at night and whatnot. And I started just streaming it. I had Badger and G Money and multiple people, coming over to the stream and hanging out. And at the end of it, I've kind of started to focus on the YouTube side more because
Right.
streaming, there's lots of things that can go wrong, things like that.
Sure.
And
Content creators can control their entire outcome of their channel, like for sure.
yeah,
Like everything that you're creating, absolutely.
yeah. So uh, really, at this point, I wanted to have a stream podcast that I could interact with. It was meant to be, this whole thing where people's input comes in and we discuss different topics and whatnot like that. And hopefully at one point I can start playing it. I actually need to go back and do a bunch of Titanfall again because since they like nerfed the G2 and stuff like that, I was able to, or I haven't been able to get back into it. I've been playing Fortnite recently, which I think it's a fun
Mhm.
game. But
Mhm.
um, I just I know that I was super excited for Titanfall 2 because I played Titanfall 1 and really enjoyed it. But Titanfall 2 has a little bit different of a feel. There's a little I like the video that it wasn't Jaredude that posted it. It was Frothy that posted it. That video explaining like all the differences between 1 and 2. And personally, I agree with a lot of it because the 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 different aspects just kind of seem to lose themselves. I don't really like the fact that the rodeoing changed and all of that stuff.
Right.
So I really liked the fact that you actually had a reason to get out of your Titan to get that person off, as opposed
Right.
to now where half the time people are using uh, I can't I'm always brain farting on the stupid names of perks and whatnot, but the one where basically you are only told that someone's on your Titan whenever they're already jumping off,
Oh
and
yeah.
at that point
Right.
you're wasting low profile. I just remembered
Right.
it all of a sudden, but um, it's just this whole. There's a lot of s- things that they changed. I liked being able to make my Titans in the first one.
Right.
Choose the chassis, then choose the perks on it, and getting
Sure.
the different feels and whatnot. And I'm really hoping that they can kind of tweak two to feel a little more, on point with the spiritual successor or whatever of the first one. But, it's still a fun game. I always enjoy playing with people because, as you know, whenever you are playing solo with randoms, you don't know what you're
Right.
going to get.
Very true. Yes,
S-
exactly.
So,
Mhm. Well, the
it's
thing
all
about
that.
Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2 is they're two very, very strong um things that differentiate both of those titles. The
Yeah.
first one is any time that you are investing in competitive play personally. For instance, you go to Call of Duty or you go to Siege or you go to somewhere, there is always a ranking system within those games. And the thing about
Yes.
Titanfall 2 is there's only a certain amount of time where you can actually feel cool matching your camo against somebody else's before you actually start to look at it from a competitive aspect, which most times if you play games even if you are not the most competitive player, a lot of people are still significantly competitive. So I might be able to match my purple camo to your pink camo, and that's going to be cool for so long. But how many
Yeah.
Titans have I killed against this person? What is my rank in comparison to his? And so that's where you've seen a lot of the competitive community coming into play, kind of wanting more from this title. Now, in Titanfall 1, then the latter part of the game, they actually introduced the ranking system, which wasn't the most amazing system, but it was still a system that made players feel like if I was a Diamond 5,
Yeah.
I was legit. And some players, it would take them a good amount of time to get there. Some other players, it might not. But at least you had something to show for it. I love my red line camo all day long, but that's only going to take me so far. Is where does my North Star compare to this person? So
Yeah.
there's that. Number two, there's the DLC and the extra outside purchase issue. Now, if you come from Titanfall 1, you remember that the DLCs, you had to purchase them. And that
Yeah.
hurt a lot of the population because there are a lot of younger players that don't actually have the money to purchase those DLCs.
Fractures
So
the player base.
exactly, absolutely. So at that point, it's okay. I can only play the game so long until they incorporate a new DLC that I can't actually purchase because mom or dad says I can't. And then, I guess I'm just going to have to wait till the next game. So
Yeah.
the next game comes out, and they're like, okay, so what we're going to do is we want to kind of stabilize the population. But what we want to do as well is we want to give you some extra camos and stuff that if you have the means of purchasing it, then you can go ahead and do that. But we're still going to allow you to play the game the way it should be played.
Yeah.
Now, I foresee, this is just personal opinion, in Titan, because I do believe that Titanfall 3 is going to come. I don't know when that will be, but I strongly feel that the way that they have been reaching out into the comp community to get input, it's been on Reddit lately. It's a lot on Twitter if you follow that type of stuff. You're going to see like they're starting to engage with us a lot more. So maybe at that point, it's not, maybe it's been a little bit hit or miss right now,
Yeah.
but we have always been a community supported. Like we support ourselves. All of our
Yeah.
events, all of our tournaments, all of everything has always been supported internally. And if we had that ranking system, if we had that means of competitive play, the way that we have been craving it for so much, we would support ourselves even more so. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I think right now, like becoming a streamer and taking your time to build, within your networks, like I like how you have your Discord, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have to look at it either A, you're preparing yourself to getting to that point futuristically if you do decide to stay with Titanfall, or if you're wanting to branch out into different games, because there's also people that are going to be able to watch your stream, that are going to want to watch you play different things, because when you are starting a channel, which it looks like you are, consistency is so very key.
That's the big thing.
Engaging with the people like G Money and Omega here and Butters when he comes in, engaging with those people,
Yeah.
that is so very important. For instance, when you see Sager will play. Sager's a great player, but he amazingly engages with the people that visit his channel constantly. So does
Yeah.
Iniquity as well. So your interaction and your consistency, I think, even having a podcast and stuff like this, I think that's an amazing thing for you to have, and it's a great start. But I would say
Yeah.
stick with it, and you're going to be good to go.
Yeah. That's the whole thing is trying to be consistent. That's why I stopped doing the whole variety streaming and I was like, I'm gonna focus on Titanfall 2 for
Right.
however long. And I streamed it every Saturday for 2 months plus, and I
Mm-hmm.
made 3 to 5 videos a week during 2 plus months. I think I was more at 3 months at that point, and then
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite came around and stuff like that, and I switched the YouTube to producing a little bit of variety with it because I wasn't seeming to get much on the Titanfall side. So I was like, all
Right.
right, I'm gonna switch it up, maybe give some different content that pulls some people in, and then I can
Mm-hmm.
either switch back or I can, uh, you know, build a community that can move from point to point together. I want to build a community of people that whenever they see you or Badger or Omega or someone playing something, they can be like, "Hey, let's go play this all together. We know each other. We know how each other play." Because that's like the biggest thing with it is having community.
Oh, networking, especially within Titanfall 2. Since it dropped in October 27th. Since that time, I have experienced more internal personal networking and building relationships with other streamers than I had ever had before. I didn't have that in Titanfall 1. You'd go
Yeah,
in and you'd stream and you would play, but over time, like a lot of people that are in a comp Discord and my own personal Discord, like those are just personal relationships that I've built with people that I've gone to them and I've said, hey, what about coming and joining this? And for instance, like if you're in our comp Discord, I have a tone main section. Tone mains are all content creators, and those are a lot of times, like I branched out to Sager. Hey, why don't you come join? And he's like, tone main reporting. Iniquity doesn't really play competitively, but he's an amazing content creator. He's a great friend. Hey, why don't you come join? Hey, I'm there. And it's that type of support and networking that you're building within your community.
yeah,
Halo hat, so amazing. So when you're done with streaming, send your people like on to someone else that they can sit there and they can watch and they can engage with as well,
yeah,
because then when you're doing that back and forth, you're constantly allowing people to be able to stay around within a network that they've grown to love over time.
yeah.
But another problematic thing with that when it comes to YouTube is, for instance, Unknown Soldier. Many people know Unknown Soldier for Titanfall. He played Titanfall 1, he played Titanfall 2. His YouTube channel was primarily known for Titanfall. He has branched out because Titanfall and the ranking system. He Unknown has always loved Titanfall, but he's expected more out of competitive play. He really, really, I mean, they literally Respawn literally flew him out last year to go and attend EA Play, and at that point, he was for sure that the scene was going to be a lot more stronger than it was in Titanfall 1. I see your cat. That's
Yeah.
adorable.
She
but
likes to
uh,
walk
but
all
then
over.
it seemed like after a while, like you're kind of waiting for that whole thing to happen. Respawn does amazing things for their game. They're an amazing everything that they have done for Titanfall and engaging with the community, like they have been so on point and supportive with that. But
Yeah,
when it comes to Rocket League, Unknown is a type of person who constantly craves to be better at something. And when it got to a point where things sort of became like started to become stale with him, he went to Rocket League. And I think it was like at 79 and 1 in GBs and Rocket League. Like it was just ridiculous. But now he made a video not too long ago. I think it was like last week where he was like, the reason why I stopped playing Titanfall, people actually went, if you go look at that video in the comment section, people actually roasted him for that.
I'm sure. I mean,
They did.
the problem is some communities. Now, I'm gonna start out by saying Titanfall so far, it seems like it's a very warm community. It's not like
It
Call of
is.
Duty where it's very toxic, but
Right.
people tend to seem to have this like you've betrayed us type feel if you do anything but what you are known for. And
Right.
it kind of sucks in that case because as a person who enjoys watching content from someone, you should be hoping that they grow and they expand and that they don't just stay with the same video over and over, because you can only make so many guides on like how to use Holopilot or how to use the AWOL, although no one wants to know how to use the AWOL, that's pretty well established. But
True. Hmm.
at a certain point you have to switch to like existential things, talk about life, talk about relationships, talk about things outside of the game. But at a certain point even those topics will start to dry up, and putting a new type of game like a prop hunt or something from a goofy game gives you the ability to kind of refresh how things feel. And as long as you can stick with a kind of similar type of thing, like for example, he went to Rocket League. And with
Right.
Rocket League compared to Titanfall, they're both very fast paced games with, maneuvering being key and whatnot like that. So I feel like people should have kind of supported it and followed through with it and been like, hey, I wish you were still doing Titanfall, but you know we understand that you might get bored of it or you might get tired of this or that.
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of channels, whether you want it to kind of be content based or not, it just happens that way. You find a
Yeah,
game and you grind that game, and let's just say Titanfall is your thing or Overwatch is your thing. I mean, it just becomes that. Diva becomes all your design all over your little interface, and people just start feeling it. And then after a while, it's always been about the next best thing. And unfortunately, that is the way that it's always going to be. Destiny 2 is going to drop, or then a Destiny 3, or something else is going to come out, and it's going to spark the interest of someone else, and then it's just going to go from there. And I mean, I
yeah,
started working on normal, like things recently, like for instance, Game Balance launched a couple of months ago, and I took on the platform coordinator position with them. And it's a little bit tougher to deal with those types of things because Game Battles has been known for so long.
Yeah.
That is the place to go. You want to GB me, everybody knows what that means. Some people pay for Prime memberships or premium memberships, and some people don't. But it's all about building credibility in this life. As a
Yeah.
streamer, you build credibility with consistency, with stream schedules and stuff like that. Or if you're gonna go and you're gonna play GBs, or you're gonna create a business like that to do something, for communities like ours, that still takes credibility in order for us to say, okay, I'm gonna take this $5 or $9 out of my pocket and give it to you every month as a place to be able to come and play games.
Yeah.
you know but when it comes to content creating and stuff like that, everybody knew and known for Titanfall, from Titanfall 1 to Titanfall 2. And it was really sad to kind of see those comments. And it's kind of like, these types of things are going to be some of the things that we're going to see for other content creators like Jaredude, or people that
Yeah.
might move forward into other things. But the problem with that is that a lot of people that watch these types of videos and they visit these types of channels, it becomes a daily thing for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They become in touch and in tune with content creators, at maybe even more of a personal level of, hey, I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to check my YouTube notifications, and the videos that you're creating and you're making for these people, they live and they love consistency with that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you just stop, and it's like, it's disappointing to them. You know what I mean? Because they love to engage. That's why they support you in the bits and they subscribe to your channel. To me, somebody can come into your channel and give you $5. That's
And
cool.
then disappear.
$5, right? $5 is cool, but when somebody has a star beside their name, when they're able to spam my Watch Ronan Die and other people's streams, that is investment into your channel. People have invested into you as a streamer and as a person because they believe that spending their time and their money on you is something that they want to do. Anybody can give you $5 and you can go buy some Chipotle. But when somebody has that star by their name, to me, that means more than somebody just giving me cash, because that's not what I'm here to do.
Yeah.
I'm here to play games. So if you got a star by your name, I'm not saying that you're good or you're not if you don't. But what I'm saying is you are investing in me, and for as long as you've got that star by your name, I'm going to be here playing games for you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Exactly.
So
There's
it's kind of,
so much
Mhm.
that getting support from the people who are viewing you, it not only gives you some sort of financial support, which I know that yours goes to charity, but a lot of people are doing this as a way to either subsidize low income or to fund a hobby, that type of stuff,
Right. Well,
But
we all know that not
yeah,
every dollar or dime that people say comes into the stream goes for the betterment of the stream. Betterment of the stream can be, hey, I need to eat Chipotle today, or
yeah,
hey, I need a new mouse. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
there are some people that actually, like for instance, there was a clip that it was completely atrocious. This girl, which if anybody follows me on Twitter, they probably saw it. This girl legit had her finger in her mouth as if she was performing fellatio, and like she had a little bar for a racing chair at the top, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she really wanted that chair. You know what I mean? And I don't even know how she's still able to stream after that, but it gets to a point where it just becomes cringy when you have people that are over here like us, really wanting to grind our game and stream our game, and then you have girls over
yeah,
there. It's like, don't worry, I'm not doing anything wrong, but I want my racing chair. I'm like, bro, I am happy with my Costco chair. It is comfortable, and I just want to play my game. And I salute you for your channel, for everything that you're doing for the people. I love Butters too. Butters is amazing, and if you know him in real life, that's awesome.
yeah. We used to play Halo LAN parties together, which,
Really?
yeah.
Mhm.
Also, game battles. Back whenever the
Mhm.
original Halo came out and it had its
Right.
PC version having game battles, me and like three other guys actually joined in, made a clan of the Beach Boys, and played game battles. So
Right. Right.
that thing's been
But
around for a while.
it has, and you know what? It's like an idea starts, and behind it is just good work and progression and just commitment to wanting to expand and to do something because you have promise behind it.
Yeah,
And when there's passion, there's always room for promise. And if people are grinding and they are investing into it and they're doing the right things and making the right choices and not selling themselves short, then you never know what you can accomplish. And Game Battles has done that. And so now if you say, oh, hey, I want to GB somebody, they don't think of any kind of new platform or Battlefield or anything like that. They think Game Battles. They think MLG. They
yeah,
think I'm going to go over there, create an account, and that's where we're going to like handle our business. But it took a lot of time for them to be able to get to that. You know what I mean? It took a lot of
Yeah.
time for them to build credibility. And there might be some instances where they have issues with reporting and stuff like that. But I mean, you're not always going to make everyone happy. There's always going
Yeah.
to be some times where something's going to like go a little awry. But overall, in the big scheme of things, like it is an amazing platform for people to be able to go play games with one another. And like, if that's something that you do, like I wish, like for instance, with Titanfall, I just wish that they would incorporate a little bit of the DLC changes and updates and stuff like that when those drop. That's the only kind of downside to that. But other than that, I mean, I think it's an amazing thing for sure.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is what she was talking about.
Uh,
This is how this girl's earning her bits.
oh, yeah, yeah,
I figured I'd give them the ability to actually see what you're
yep,
referring to.
right. And this is what he's showing you right here. This is something that I saw somebody actually shared it on Twitter, and I saw it come up on my feed. And the girl literally says, "I'm not doing anything wrong." Like there's people literally telling her like you need to stop because that's whole what is it the little COD twerk girl got her start, right? She ended up on YouTube because she was on Twitch or something twerking in
Really?
COD. Yeah, I forget her name, but yeah, she ended up going and doing that. But I mean, but seeing that video come up, like the for instance, like the term gamer girl. When
Yeah.
somebody calls me a gamer girl, there's something that infuriates in a part of me that like I can't deal with it because when I think gamer girl, I think of that what you just saw.
Yeah.
That's what I think of. Like I'm a female who likes to stream and play games, but not like that. And just seeing that, I was just like, wow, that girl really wants her chair. She really wants her racing chair, and then I'm over
Really
here to
wants
buy
it.
a chair.
She could find
I
a sugar daddy, I'm sure.
well, I'm sure whoever is giving her money for that. I mean, like I would think that would. But I mean, but when did it get to that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I know.
when did it get to that? Like when did that become the thing? And a couple of times over the last few months, I've seen like the in real life things where people can like go and cook in their kitchen and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I think Butter did that on Periscope not too long ago, and I
Yeah.
went to check
He and
he
Mrs.
and
Butter
Mrs.
made
Butters out.
made dinner. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. They made some like awesome Mexican food, and I was like supremely hungry after that. But like just being able to engage with him, like Butters is so much fun, and so is his wife, and like they're just a really great couple. And the fact that he's trying to incorporate her into like doing more in games too as well, like it's
Yeah.
something that they can spend time together too. But it's also a new way for them to kind of grow together and to have a lot more in common, even more so than I'm sure they already do.
Yeah.
But like, who wouldn't want to have that? You know what I mean? Like the fact that I played Frontier Defense with Mrs. Butters was like amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody and
And
I went and played with her, and it was an amazing time.
yeah, and that's actually something that uh, I'm going to kind of touch on one topic and then shift to another real quick because it's just like how the gamer girl thing is.
Yeah.
I also see a huge shift in nerdy girls. Like whenever I was
Yeah.
growing up, you were just ostracized for being a nerd. Now it's popular, and all of a sudden, all these girls who made fun of nerdy guys for like 20 years are like, I'm going to start being nerdy and wearing all this Marvel stuff or Star Wars or DC and all this stuff. And I'm like, 85 to 90% of you are just wearing it just because it's popular now.
Right?
And it makes it hard to actually find the ones that are legitimately nerdy and legitimately could talk about like, battles that Iron Man had in comics or stuff like that. So
Right.
it just seems
Right.
kind of, fake and behind the it just doesn't seem right. Just
Well,
it
I mean, they're
seems
they're
like
trying to go
it's
with a
taking
trend.
it
I mean,
from
if
the legit
that's their
girls.
bread and butter, they're
Yeah.
just trying to go to the trend because that's what's going to pay their bills, or at least put them closer to pizza or sushi or their chair, one or the other.
Sushi's good,
Yeah,
let's be honest.
sushi is good. Hey, I got you. Trust me.
But yeah, me and Mrs. Grindtastic, we've actually been together for uh just about 11 years now. So
Oh, I
we've known
love
each
it.
other for a very long time.
Right.
Uh Met each other in I don't know if you guys have it. It's something called Scholars Bowl. It's basically those like trivia answering things where you get buzzers and you answer before the other team to get points.
Right.
So already knew she was a nerd back then. But then we went to college and both of us got hooked on World of Warcraft. So we played
Right.
World of Warcraft together a lot.
Right.
And we've played all the Halos couch co-op except for the last one since they took couch co-op away.
Right.
And that's why this channel has the logo it does. The G and the G having the two different gender symbols was that
Right.
we were hoping to share the channel. She would either stream or upload YouTube videos of her playing. It could be Mario even, something that she enjoys. And once Mrs. Butter started playing Titanfall, I was like, ooh, this seems like a huge thing. Neither of
Right.
them have played Titanfall. If
Right.
I can, if we can get Mrs. Butters versus Mrs. Grindtastic in like a 1v1, that would be fun to see because neither of them have played this before, really. And it could just be entertaining. And at the same time, it would, uh, get them to know each other and all that stuff because I was at Butterbar's wedding, but my wife wasn't at the wedding. So she hasn't actually met Mrs. Butters yet. And it
Hmm.
would be a kind of a way to introduce them and get them to know each other and talk to each other and all that. And it would be like just a lot of fun. And now that Frontier Defense is out, I might try and have Mrs. Grindtastic play and just kind of see how she likes it because she really liked playing Halo, but she can't do it like on the same Xbox as me anymore. So it's there's just so much stuff that you can do with this. It's crazy.
Right. And it was a lot of fun playing with Mrs. Butters. Like she stayed by the like the harvester, and it was just a lot of fun to be able to interact with her. Just because like Butterbar has such an amazing personality. He's a lot of fun. The fact that he hates rodents so fucking much. When we go into to Frontier Defense, because I put some content on my YouTube channel of the last because I it was crazy. I took Butters into Insane
Yeah,
on a forward-based Kodai, and the fact that we were able to clutch back to back, and that was the very very first and second time that he had ever done that. Like that was just an amazing feat for him. You know what I mean? He was so super stoked after that. Then last night we took Iniquity and Anon and I went and we brought Zeph, which is actually a really good friend of Iniquity's, along, and we went in and clutched the Insane on Rise, which was hard. And then you just kind of go back and you look at it and it's just like, what is there else?
yeah,
Like, and I love the fact that they're always bringing in something new, and people are looking at it like, oh well, Titanfall 2 is starting to feel kind of dead and it's starting to feel kind of stale, and it's like it's because you're looking at it from an inside the box perspective. You have to be able to push yourself to do different things. A lot
yeah.
of people want to play PvP. They don't want to play um they don't want to play Frontier Defense, or they don't
I
want to
actually
play
really like
CTF or
Frontier
something.
Defense.
I did too. I love it. I love it so much. But the thing about it too is that you're able to grind your Titans in a different way. You're able, your Aegis rank. You're able to do different things. Like for instance, I am so mind warped now on getting the double cluster with my North Star in Frontier Defense that when I go and I play a different mode with the North Star and I only get one cluster, I feel cheated.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because I'm
that,
used to doing so many different things, but it's such an
yeah,
amazing experience. And I think that if your wife ever wanted to do anything like that, we could get her on with Miss Butters, and we would take care of it for sure. It'd be a
yeah.
lot of fun.
It's hard. I haven't been able to catch like notice whenever Mrs. Butters is about to even play.
Hmm.
Where is
Well,
it that?
a lot of times he'll well, I know sometimes Butters will message me like via DM
Okay,
on either Discord or on Twitter. But if that's something that you're wanting to catch, we could always let him know. Hey, just post it, because I don't know if you're in his Discord. We could
yeah.
just have him post it in Discord in his announcements and say, hey, we're about to get Miss Butters on. Because sometimes it's there. The
I'm one
announcements
of
are
the
there.
cool kids in the Discord.
Right?
Not,
Yeah. There you
no
go.
big deal.
So then, yeah. I mean, if we can just get him to just right in there and just let everybody know that she's gonna get on, we can try to work something out. But
Yeah,
but yeah, but
I mean,
it's a good break for me to deal with them, because I
yeah,
deal a lot with like the comp stuff in the community. So being able to just go and just to have a good time with Butters and his wife or Iniquity, and just being able to get out and kind of enjoying my time and kind of breaking off from the whole stress of things, that I think would be amazing. Anytime you ever want to join, like, feel free.
yeah.
Hmm?
It's definitely one of those things where it's just trying to catch the right time and whatnot,
Right.
because i there's always life happening, and you never
Oh yeah.
know how timing's gonna work. Because I think right now she's still on her night shifts whenever she works,
Oh
so
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
that's the problem with being a sheriff. You never know what your schedule's gonna be like.
Very true. Well, the very first time I was supposed to play with her, he completely forgot that Game of Thrones released that night, and I don't really watch it, but she does, and so he's like, "Hey, Mrs. Butters is gonna go on. You guys can play tonight," and then all of a sudden it was just like we didn't have games, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, what happened?" And then I found out later, like Game of Thrones dropped, and so yeah.
So she was
But yeah.
distracted a little bit.
Yeah, which is more than fine. But I appreciate the opportunity to be able to come and talk and hang out with you. I think your channel is an amazing thing what you're doing here, and the people that are out hanging out with you in the Discord and stuff like that. Like, trust me, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't ever start to feel defeated or like you're not coming up fast enough because I mean I've done this for 3 years plus, you just within the Titanfall community, and it's especially just with Titanfall, it's taken so much time to even get to
Yeah.
where I am right now. But at this point, it's like I have so many awesome people that not only are coming in for my own content, but are also coming in and enjoy spending time with me when it comes from other streamers, hosts as well. And streaming and hosting and spending that time networking, network harder. And, that is your key to progression. Quick. Especially within the Titanfall community, the way that we network, like if you're in my stream or whatever, I'll be like, hold on a second, and then I'm gonna throw you to Iniquity. I'm gonna throw you to Grindtastic Games. I'm gonna throw you to somebody,
Yeah.
and that is not only going to allow some of the people that might be, normal subscribers or followers of your own content and your own channel that are spending time with me, but it's also going to be able to allow me to send my people to you at the same time,
Yeah.
and they may not even know who you are.
Yeah.
And so it's a great thing. So yeah, most definitely do it. I
I make sure that
appreciate.
I have Titanfall playing streamers on my auto host, so
Right,
that I think Butter's the top of the list. I think
right,
Iniquity was one of the top few and all that.
right.
Um,
But it but
I
it took them a long time. It took Iniquity a long time to
I'm
get to the
yeah,
following and with all the content that he has now. Jaredude the same way. Jaredude has grinded a ridiculous content schedule for a really long time
yeah,
with Titanfall Legends, and like it's taken a lot out of, like, it's not an easy thing, you
no,
know. Like, it's not an easy thing to be able, you want to make good content, but there's always this stress of, is my content going to be engaging enough in order to keep the people that I would love to have spend time with me
yeah,
here? Am I being interesting? And that's one thing that I do love about Iniquity's videos. Like, for instance, I don't know if you follow him on YouTube or subscribe, but
yeah,
he had a video out a couple of days ago where, like, the grunt literally, like, he trips the pilot when he's running on Kodai. It's those things like that in the beginning of his videos, like, they are just so quirky, and it just makes me, like, enjoy that content so much. And Butter is his channel, and if you have a YouTube channel, I'm going to most definitely go and subscribe to that just so that I can stay on top of your content.
yeah.
But I appreciate the opportunity to chat, grind on your Titanfall,
Uh,
and anytime you want to come and spend some time, let me
so
know.
one super quick question before you
Hmm.
take off.
Uh-huh.
What was how long were you streaming slash posting to YouTube before you reached like your first 1,000?
Okay, so the hardest milestone for me was the 900 to 1,000. Like, I progressed pretty quickly, but when I got to a point where I was like at 900 waiting to get like to that 1K, it's kind of like when you're going on a road trip and you get there really fast,
Yeah,
but then when you're on your way home it takes forever. That's exactly what it was like, and it was taking me so long. And I was promoting via Twitter, I was promoting via Twitch, I was promoting like in Facebook communities and stuff like that.
yeah,
But it's once you hit that 1,000, um it's actually, it's just blown my mind, like, and it's a good amount, it's a good number for me who's only ever streamed Titanfall.
yeah,
If I was a female streamer and I streamed something else, then maybe like I'd want to be all over the moon for it. But the way I look at it is, the few thousands that I have, those are people whose names that when I see them, like when I see Omega come in or when I see Badger come in, I recognize them. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And those are people that come and they make their time to spend with me and coming from other streamers. But I would say you don't ever feel like disheartened about trying to get to that milestone, because it's going to come.
yeah,
You'll hit your 100 and then that'll feel good, and
yeah,
then you'll get to like your 200 and then it'll just go from there. You know what
yeah.
I mean? But
That's the
mhm,
only thing that like gets to me a little bit is that so I told you that I had been doing YouTube like I've stuck a total of at this point like a year plus into
right,
YouTube, and I had had 3 month periods where I would post 3 to 5 videos a week for 3 months, and then I just kind of stopped because I wasn't getting any traction. I was sitting at like 10 subscribers. So then
right,
I tried it again, and I tried to do super consistent like Call of Duty content and whatnot, and it just didn't go anywhere. So
right,
then Butter started up his stuff, and I'm like, sweet, I'm gonna start mine back up. I can have a buddy to play with and create content with because it's always fun to see interactions with people on YouTube.
right.
So
Yeah,
I, at the very start, I was like, look, you're not gonna get a ton of people real quick. that's the way it works. You got to do the grind and the time, and you'll grow over time, and then you'll slowly you'll get more people quicker as time goes on. Um, the first like 10 to 100 will be difficult. Then your
Yeah.
next 100
Mhm.
will come a lot quicker. Then 200 will come quicker. Apparently 900 to 1,000 was tough for you, but you tend to see that pattern. And then Butter
Right.
got hosted by Iniquity,
Yeah.
and
And then
he
people
went from
come
like
in.
a hundred to 1,000 in a week.
Yeah. And that's
And
where the networking
yeah,
comes into play, because you have to remember that those people, like for instance, Iniquity in his position, he wasn't always there. So there were
yes,
people that he would play with, his content. He spends a lot of time on his content, on his
yes,
videos, and making his quirky little like intros. You know what I mean? Like the grind, like that was fucking priceless. Him kicking the pilot. That I watched it like 5 or 6 times. It was hilarious. I was telling you about that last night. But like a lot of people will look at it, for instance, some people will look at it as, oh, okay, well, if you're playing with somebody, if you have that person's title or something,
yeah,
like their name in your title, that's clickbait. No, it's not. It's networking. It's letting you know that that's who I'm playing with right now. That's what it is that I'm
yeah,
doing right now. If you want the title of what my stream is about, I'm going to tell you what my stream about right now. But he also spent a lot of time building
yes,
his following with a lot of music, a lot of stuff that he has behind
yes,
that. So he's got the Iniquity Rhymes and the Iniquity Games. All the time I go in and tell him Iniquity cannot game, which is what Sager says, and and he loves it and he knows. But looking at it between last year and this year, stay on it.
yeah,
So much has changed. Last year, admittedly, I didn't even know who Iniquity was. I knew who Sager was, but I was always like, okay, it's just Sager and everybody loves him. Like, I'm not gonna be ugly and say that I thought that he was overrated, but the way I looked at it, maybe it was like a dang, he's good at everything. You know what I mean? And so when a
yeah,
player's like me, you're just like, wow, and then he gets to go to respawn and you're just like, wow. And so what that does is it does either one or two things. Either A, you start to feel supremely defeated and then you move to something else. Or B, it's, you know what? You grind and you shine. And I'm
yeah,
about to grind until I get good. And me, like, I have this thing where I'm never good with good enough. Like, I can beat like last night, like I can beat Rise on Insane, but now I want to do it with like 4 North Stars. I want to do something that people say is not. So right now tonight, I'm trying to get both Dinosaur D123 and Dino Rush, which there's all 2 other strong North Stars, and I'm
yeah,
trying to get them along with one other person and go. We're gonna try to do that with all 4, and then have that to post up. But it's always challenging yourself and pushing yourself to do bigger and better things. And
yeah,
I think right now that the avenue that you're on, like you're gonna be able to do a lot with that. Just start networking with people and asking people to join you for games and stuff like
definitely.
that I mean, because that's a lot of the ways that Butter did. But Butter's personality, your personality, you're engaging with the people that you have in your stream, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's what I find best about Twitch is that you can actually interact. The YouTube is good for posting up a pre-made thing that kind of gets
Right.
exposure. Twitch is good for actually being able to go, oh, that's what you feel about this, or you saw that, or whatever, and you can kind of work with things. Like if you have a perk on North Star that's not quite as good as another one, someone in your chat that's a North Star main can be like, hey, I recommend that you switch this to that and see how it works for you. And
And that's exactly what happens. Like if you came from the first game, so you said you played Titanfall 1. When I came from the first
yeah,
game, I loved the skill cannon, which was the art cannon. I loved it just because it was powerful. But then probably about the latter part of that game, I started to use the 40 mil. So coming into the Titanfall 2, I started to use the 40 mil. Right. And everybody was like, oh, watch Tone die, and they thought it was overpowered and this and that or whatever. But honestly, the thing that had a lot of people's attention were 2 things coming into Titanfall 2. One, the Ronin. 2, the North Star. We didn't have either one of those. Anything. I mean, we did have a
yeah,
Strider-based chassis, but something like that was just like it was engaging, at least for okay, I want to play and just to kind of experience that. But Titanfall, the thing about Titanfall is that it's very, very, very you either like it or you don't. There aren't that many people that fall in the middle. You either
yeah,
really, really love it because you like the parkour and you like the movement and you like the different aspects of the game, or you want to go back to COD or you want to go back to what you're used to.
yeah,
So that's what differentiates the players of who wants to learn and progress and do something different than they've ever done before in a mech game, or do you want to go back to COD and stand and hide behind a plan and camp in a building and just do
yeah.
that? Because y'all can
And
just do
and
that.
I'm one of those people that's kind of like in the mid tier of movement.
Right,
I My thumb doesn't roll well enough to do slide hopping,
right.
where I did way, way, way better at the first one because slide hopping wasn't as powerful. So you were
Right.
actually encouraged to do that wall run and hopping between surfaces and whatnot like that. So
Right.
I really excelled at the first one because I was actually one of the top tier movement types in that game. While in this game, I'm mid tier because people with either elite controllers using the evolved control scheme or who have figured out how to get their thumb to roll just right between the crouch and the jump are able to fly across maps. And
Yeah.
it's just something that my thumb doesn't cooperate with. And in my videos, I've said, like, I don't hold it against people for slide hopping, but it
Right.
is like my bane of my existence.
Right. Well, and that's the thing too. There's been a lot of, and there's something similar with that. There's a lot of players that come from PS4. Like for instance, a lot of in the competitive community, there's a lot of PS4 talk about how Xbox players they seem to be elitist. They seem to feel like they're better players than PS4 players. They feel like they're going to be better at the game, and there's always been a lot of like kind of hostility there. And there's been a couple of conversations that I've had where players have come in and they're like, okay, they want to fight about the grapple. They love the grapple. The grapple is an awesome utility, but here's the difference. Grapple is not advanced pilot movement. A grapple is a utility that a pilot can use in order to slingshot itself from point A to point B. And a lot of players don't process that. Advanced pilot movement is bunny hopping from the first game. Advanced
Yeah,
pilot movement is using, your evolved or like myself, I can use either an elite controller and I can slide hop or I can slide hop on default. Like a lot recently I've been sliding just on default.
yeah,
But it takes a lot of time. Coming in a Titanfall 2, being able to go in to custom matches by yourself. There have been so many times that I've gone in just to strengthen my game alone, running around on Eden, running around on different maps, just in attrition or something, and just to stay on the outskirts of the map and just learn how to strengthen my slide hop and my movement. And then I'll come back in, and then that'll help you so much farther in the game.
yeah.
But it is, I mean, the skill ceiling was a lot higher with that, and I think they dropped that a little bit when it comes to slide hopping. But with the grapple and everything like that, players don't necessarily have to focus too much on slide hopping because there's the utility for them to use that is also separate, but will do
Yeah.
the same thing. You know what I
That's
mean?
that's what I do is once I saw was it Jared or I can't remember who showed the grapple on Blackwater, but whenever I saw that and how fast you could get across a map, I used that whenever
Iniquity has one on Blackwater.
it was
Iniquity's got a
Iniquity.
really strong one
Okay,
on Blackwater. Yeah. Uh huh.
but it's been a very long time since I've actually watched it. But whenever Marked for Death first came out, the person who was the first Mark for Death was actually someone who was a Jaredude name clone,
Uh
and
huh.
I
Yeah.
used the grapple trick, not flawlessly, because this was whenever I first started trying to do it, but I got all the way across Blackwater in about 8 seconds, which it was
Right.
pretty good at the time for me. And I didn't even slide hop for the whole thing.
Right.
So it was one of those things where if you can't slide hop, you can still learn how to use that grapple, keep it within the screen, and totally maximize your speed and go
Right.
flying across a map.
Right. Well, I mean, but that's good and it's good and bad though, because if you come from the first game, at least if you played on a competitive side
Yeah,
of Titanfall, you had to be able to bunny hop. If you were an OBJ and you played CTF, if you go back and you watch a lot of the old YouTube content, from tournaments, et cetera, like for instance, there's a player named Synchro. His strength and his movement coming from the first game and being able to bunny hop the way that he does differentiates or differentiated him from a lot of other players. You could still have really good movement, but if you had an OBJ at that time that pulled a flag and you could not catch him, that's a problem.
yeah,
Now in this game, there's the utility of being able to use the grapple. However, that is good and bad. The reason why I'm saying that is there's a lot of times where people will try to be scummy with the grapple. They'll pull a flag, they'll hop into an antenna, and they'll slingshot themselves across the map, which was almost an equivalent to a nuke eject stem in the first game that they
yeah,
banned. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be a lot of people that are going to argue back and forth about whether or not, pilot movement is good. But the only thing I can say is in order to be able to become the strongest player that you can be, you have to be able to dominate on multiple levels. Your
yeah,
Titan, your movement, your pilot, all of that.
yeah.
And I think if you just spend some time grinding, like I think you'd be good to go.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I need to maximize and master is slide hopping. That's the real thing that's stopping me at this point because normally whenever I get my Legion, I'm able to take down multiple Titans on the other team. My Titan game is on point usually, and it's just the mobility. Like I can get good speed on the walls, but if I have to cover flat terrain, I'm totally hosed. And I need to
Right.
get to where I have that slide hop roll down, or I don't know, maybe try the evolve scheme again. Whenever it
Right.
switched all the buttons around, it just threw me off so much that it was something that I had to go back and just whatever.
Right.
Because even Butter's gotten better with his slide hopping because we had the joke whenever he was first starting that it was a Butter slide because it was still
Right.
only like sprint speed.
Right. And it does. It takes time. It takes grind. It really, really does. And like I've grinded with North Star for months and months and months now to be able to get where I am. And that's watching videos. I've watched dinosaurs content. I've played with some of them before previously, and just spending a lot of time personally saying, looking at my own equation, taking everybody out of it. What can I do to be better? Because if I am a stronger player, not only am I an asset also personally, but I'm an asset to whatever team or whatever squad that I want to bring my North Star or my pilot or my whatever to is my slide hop on point. Because if it's on point, then that's going to allow me to be an OBJ for a squad that might be interested in picking me up. You have to look
Yeah,
at your own personal strengths, because if not, other people are going to try to, they'll critique them. And unfortunately, the Titanfall community is very small, but it is large, but it's also small at the same time,
yeah,
if that makes sense. Everybody kind of knows everybody's like living in a town like that.
yeah.
But
Town of
we are
100.
also we can also be super critical of one another.
Yeah,
Like, oh, I want to play customs with you, or I want to do scrim matches with you. Oh, but you really probably shouldn't move the flag because you're not good. You
yeah,
know what I mean? So, but like I said, again, I appreciate the time being able to come and hang out with you.
yeah,
If
definitely.
you ever are interested in getting more into the competitive scene, let me know for sure. I've got quite a few events coming up over the next couple of months.
Yeah,
We do have the one, if you want to tune into that on Saturday, we've got the CTF. We have the LTS next week, which I'm still taking in open registration if that's something that you're interested in doing as well. But I appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to seeing more content and stuff from you. And I will hit that subscribe and watch for those videos for sure.
definitely. And I will see you in the next stream.
Absolutely. All right.
All right,
Good luck
thanks.
to you. Stay on your grind.
Yeah,
Stay on your
definitely.
grind. You're gonna get your numbers there for sure. I promise.
Yeah.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, see ya. So that's actually that was a great example of. So you guys remember how the first week that we were talking about this, we were saying how I wanted to be able to have a party thing where you guys could actually come in and join and actually could actually like we could have a discussion where I could have Atomic come in and have a discussion on a single point of something, and then swap out and have Omega come in, and then Badger, and we could swap out like second hosts with all that. And she actually gave the perfect example of how that would work, and she's definitely great in the community and all that, but I'm sure all of you guys are already subscribed to her, already follow her. If you don't, go ahead, go hit her up, follow her on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube. Hit all the stuff, and it's awesome to be able to actually have that. I didn't think that I would have anyone big come to this, but that was actually amazing. It was good getting to talk to someone who had been around since Titanfall 1 also. So it's that whole situation. But um, yeah, it was just that whole thing. It's like this was originally supposed to just be about Twitch. I know that we iishiii iishiii I think is what she said it was. I'm still really bad with fucking names, but we actually have that discussion about Twitch, but then we have a discussion about how the community is, how you you hook in, you network, you get to know one another, and all that stuff. And once that's all able to happen, you're able to, have a great discussion. Ishi? Ishi? Okay, Ishi. But it was awesome being able to talk to someone who played Titanfall 1 as well. And she's apparently been Titanfall maining since the first one. So I'm so bad at it. But Ishi. Okay. Uh yeah, he did. Did you just see that, Atomic? Yeah, he used your image for his thumbnail today. But like she was saying, the community of Titanfall isn't nearly as big as it probably should be. It should be larger, but like currently Titanfall's PC numbers on weekends are 7,000 players. On weekends on PlayStation 4, there are 8,700-ish players. And on Xbox One on the weekend, there are 9,300 players. That's not a ton, you know? So with that, you end up just kind of stuck. That's kind of strange. Huh. So it says that only 597 people were playing Xbox. Oh wait, is that original? That's the original Titanfall. Never mind. But yeah, anyways, I actually really enjoyed that conversation, and I do want to actually have a second like podcast where we just have a guest host, have iishiii come back on, have maybe Butterbar if he actually wants to, maybe Iniquity or Tony Mo, have a different host each week or a different co-host that comes on and we can talk about either Titanfall, we can talk about things like Lawbreakers, we can talk about Destiny 2, we can talk about all these other games. And after talking to her, I really got burnt out on Titanfall because I wasn't gaining anything. She really nailed everything that I was feeling because I wasn't gaining anything. I was burnt out. I know that I got like you guys, and you guys are awesome. You guys are fantastic people that are super supportive. But I wasn't really getting any growth on the channel. I was still sitting at 20. And, I'm not getting any shout outs. I'm not getting anything really. No hosts from anyone, nothing like that. And it's just a huge thing hearing someone who's actually big in the community say, don't worry about this. Don't let it burn you out. Keep going, And that's huge. She legitimately was like, she nailed exactly how I was feeling. And I'm actually going to start trying to produce Titanfall content again. Now, you guys are going to have to forgive me for not, having whatever. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be fantastic, but stick around. We're going to watch me try and improve. And if you guys think that that'll make a good series of me trying to get better and better and better and do better and hit shots better, because I'm sure my aim is going to be terrible right now. Absolutely horrible. But she actually made me want to make Titanfall content again. Because, at this point, I feel like if I messaged her and was like, hey, it's Saturday morning, do you want to, play some Titanfall? She and I might party up and just play together. And I'm not going to be solo hanging out to dry anymore, And that's awesome. That's the thing. Badger will carry us all with his like 200 ping. But she actually like really vamped me up, and that's something that I was really. I've had discussions with Butter, and this is gonna sound really bad, but it's not supposed to 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 sound bad. Uh, I'm gonna play Fortnite with G Money, but I'm also gonna play like Titanfall with everyone too. So I'm gonna have to figure out what night to do what. But G Money, just to let you know, the I'm gonna have to play with you. I'm about to go on a float trip on the river, so I will be out Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday morning. But I will be back Sunday night, and I'm probably gonna stream Sunday night because Mrs. Grindtastic has a softball game that she's playing, and so she's gonna be off playing her softball game. I'm gonna be having to do something, so I might play Fortnite with you Sunday night if you're available. If not, I can just play Titanfall. But I'm so glad that she came in. I'm so glad that she had a discussion with me, like one on one, because it actually, the biggest thing, I guess, that was getting me down is I was producing Titanfall content for like 3 months, and no one, not even Butter, was interacting or recognizing my stuff. Like, they were just ignoring it straight up. So I'm gonna post that link to iishii's Twitch or YouTube, not Twitch. That's a link to iishiii. But you know, it's just you feel like you're just kind of being thrown to the side. And seeing Butter, Tony Mo, and Iniquity constantly on Twitter talking to each other, reacting to each other, having their back and forths, it started to just kind of make me feel like that loser thrown off to the side that no one cares about. Because Butter, I've known Butter in real life. I was invited to his wedding. Like, I would expect, not because I ask, I would have just expected him to kind of help promote me and help bring me into the fold and all that type of stuff, just as it is, you know. But I don't ask for things because, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm getting Butter's people at this point because you guys are coming over from his Discord and you guys are awesome. I think I got the best of his viewer base. I'm gonna be honest. And that's not just because you're here. It's because you guys interact. You're not just sitting on the side. You guys actually talk. You chat back. It's awesome. I couldn't have asked for a better group of dudes. But, you know, it's just, it's awesome. Everything is great. I feel so much better about everything that was going on. I'm so glad she came in. I'm I'm gonna be honest. I would like swing by her streams, but I didn't hang out for a super long time. But I actually got to meet her one-on-one conversation. We got to have back and forth, and that actually hugely, and I mean hugely, uh, like raises my Atomic probably did get timed out, but I got a huge like connection with her now. Like, actually getting recognized is what it is. Because my goal is to do big 24-hour streams that everyone can, you know, everyone can group together and help firefighters or help, you know, a hospital or help wounded veterans or police or something good, some good thing that is around, maybe a local animal shelter. I just think it would be awesome to grow a community that I can do a charity stream and make a difference in a good way, you know? And like I've said 100 times, and I'm 100% transparent about it, if I were to have been affiliated with Twitch any subscription stuff or any donations would go to building a new gaming PC. Once that was built, I would spend my own money for a new microphone, and then it would be, it would just be whatever. One of the things you need to do is make something memorable that people will say, I really like this grind guy. That's what my Rick and Morty thing was attempting to do. I was attempting to have it where that was the thing that everyone was just like, this Rick and Morty, this dude's doing Rick super well, and it's hilarious hearing him basically complain and whine and act like a smartass to people on Titanfall. And it was huge. It was my biggest video. It got like 30 views, but it didn't help grow the channel as much as I was hoping. But I definitely understand that. Yeah, Atomic. So you Okay, so real quick, before we wrap this up, because we actually went way over, but I think it was a very, very productive time of going over. So I have this thing, there's this add-on that you can get. Gotta turn on my internet. So let's see here. So there is this internet add-on called BTTV. It's Better Twitch TV. That's what it is. So this is actually a way that you can get emotes without being a Twitch partner. So anyone who has BTTV installed on their browser, it's literally just an add-on that modifies, like, see how down here, I don't know if you guys can actually see this, but down here we've actually got a BTTV settings. And it lets you do things like, what was it? So, you guys see Grind Nerd Cert right now because none of you have BTTV. But I had to zoom in so much. Oh, Atomic, did you install it? Nice. So, Atomic, you can see my nerd certification badge thing that I made as an emote. It just says nerd on it. And I went too far that time. But then I've got the Hank Hill, like him going, whoa! And then I've got Please Die with please being in letters and then the Reaper skull underneath it. I've got GG as my logo, and then I've got Go Team and my nerd cert. Yeah, it's something that has to be on an actual computer desktop browser. It doesn't play well with phones. Like, I don't even try and install it on my phone because it won't work. So, you'll get used to it though. Like, now that you know that if you see like Grindtastic GG or Grind Go Team or Grind Nerd Cert or Grindtastic PLZ, you'll know that that's one of my emotes just being used, and you might not know exactly which one. I mean, I kind of made the names somewhat descriptive so that you were able to you should know what it is just from seeing the thing. But it lets you actually, like, now, Atomic, you should see my cert badge thing, which I don't know if you got to see the previous message, but it's just one of those nice little add-ons that makes it where I get one of those perks that a full partner would get, but all it takes is you guys downloading a free add-on that, like, survives off of people donating to it. Like, streamers can donate to basically say, like, thank you so much for giving me this. And honestly, if I had a ton of money, if everything was working, I would totally put it on the. I would throw $5, $10 their way, no problem. You know. So it's did it Omega? Did you? Does it work for you? Because you might have to refresh the page so you can see it now. See? But that's something that I tried to get Butter to do. Like I tried to get Butter to. I made him the go choke yourself. If you guys go to the Discord, you can see the. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. Hold on a second. I'll just open it up here. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. So, oh, I'm capturing a window. Shit. Um, if you go to the Discord, you can see a picture of a guy kind of like with his hand up to his throat with his fingers going in his collar. That is the dude from Star Wars when Darth Vader's force choking him. And that was meant to go with choke yourself as an emote for Butter. And I tried to get him to put it on the on BTTV, but he never did get with me on when I could come over and introduce him to BTTV because I wanted to help him get emotes. I wanted to help my friend expand. But now I've actually only got 4 because for some reason they took away the approval from my Go team. They said that I needed to stop having the team so full of extra color. So I guess I gotta remove a little more of the pink. But yeah, it's you connected your Twitch, but it's not working. That's weird. It should work. I never had any problems. I don't know. It might be that you need to completely reopen the browser. Since it's a browser add-on, that might be it. I don't know. Don't take that as a fact for me. But yeah, I enjoyed doing stuff to help people out and whatnot, and I feel like this is something that a lot of people don't know about, but it could hugely help them. You know, I actually should have asked iishiii if she knew about this because it's pretty awesome, you know. You can get 5 free emotes. So actually partnered people will use both their streams emotes plus they'll use BTTV emotes to get like a total of 10 to 12 emotes. And it's huge and it can make all the difference. What to what, G Money? I don't know how far back I need to go to answer this. She only has 10 videos for real? Anyways, we were talking about BTTV, G Money. It's a thing that you just add on to your browser and, you get whatever. That's all. I was just saying that I was wanting to introduce Butter to it and get him 5 emotes before he was even affiliated. Like back whenever he first started. I made 3 emotes for him to use, but he never told me when I should come over to actually show him how to do it and all that. You love all the settings with the BTTV or with something else? I was asking if you were talking about the settings for BTTV because it does have a lot of settings for it. automatic theater mode, anonymous chat, better viewer list. It gets you the emotes. It gives you GIF emotes. You're able to do the chat image preview stuff. You can play and pause the stream even. Like, they do so much stuff. Oh, and they've got global ones as well. They've got global BTTV emotes that you're able to use that are just, whatever. And the best part is this. Other people who make BTTV emotes, like say say Atomic started streaming and he made some BTTV emotes. I can then go to BTTV's website and add his emotes to where they can be used on my streaming, and you're able to connect all the stuff together. Howdy, Rogue Shadow, how's it going? You will be even if you don't stream. Well, knowing you, you're such a creative fella. I'm not surprised at all. Unfortunately, though, Rogue Shadow, you are coming in at the very end of what actually ended up being a very long podcast. We had iishiii in here for probably about an hour talking to us, and I feel bad. I kind of kept her a little bit longer after she was trying to get away. I didn't mean to, but I had to. This is where I really want to like set up a thing up front where I can have her come in before then. Uh, so hopefully we can have her back on to talk about other things. Because we really only talked about like competitive gaming, which honestly I wish that I need to get my slide hopping together. Thank you for the follow. But I wish that I need to get better at my slide hopping. And then I want to actually play with people so that the so that the you know the because playing just against randoms is fun, but it kind of gets drugged down. You kind of lose the how much it's good and how much you like it as time goes on. So it would be nice to be able to get a you know competitive team against another competitive team. And honestly, I'm pretty sure I'd probably be some sort of defensive person. Um, so you know, hopefully, hopefully at some point I can actually get onto a competitive thing. Maybe Butter will want to be on a team at some point. Maybe. Yeah, I see you coming in. Twitch ratted you out so fast. Your friend Butterbar Gaming has just started watching. Caught ya. But yeah, it would be awesome to do that. Have Butter as a guest sometime. You know, it's only supposed to last an hour. Uh, I would obviously like to refine it. I know you guys said a lot while I was talking to iishiii, but uh, it would be. I want to kind of refine it a little bit so that like we talk for a little bit and then I can read like I know one of you guys, I can't remember now, it's been too long, said that but sounds like I started reading the message I just read, but I could read something about like whoever it was that said at this point would a competitive ranking system even make a difference since everyone stopped playing. I wish I could have like brought that up and just been like, hey, iishiii, uh, Atomic says, do you think that a ranked system would even matter at this point? So it is what it is. I would love to go comp because once you have the whole like system in place, you know who is good at what and where people like to go and whatnot. Like I can hang around the flag area as a defensive person, especially once I get slide hopping down, and can, be that person that you got to manage to get through. Meanwhile, maybe Atomic is the slide hopper that just flies across that map, grabs the enemy flag, and starts hauling ass back. That type of stuff. I know. I tend to go on and on and on and on. Anyways, I do need to stop though. It's 11 o'clock here. I went way over. Um, we will do this again next Thursday at the same time. We'll see how long it lasts. Maybe it'll be forever. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll only stop at an hour. You're the grappler that grabs the flag and then grapples back. But like currently my maneuver game is grapple. If I can add slide hopping efficiently to that, I double my maneuvering game. So hopefully I can work on that. I gotta work on that. I will probably use some videos that I suck at slide hopping, and will see me build up from there. So thank you guys so much for coming out. I really do appreciate it. This was a fantastic podcast. I could not have hoped for a better one. Thank you very much to all of you who came out. But yeah, that's my way. Actually, I do the butter slide. My slide hop is about the speed of just sprinting. So, although I'm pretty good about getting that, like once I realize that I've lost my momentum, I'll stop for a second, just sprint, and then slide to get that extra speed, and then on I go. So, thank you very much, guys. I hope to see all of you guys next Thursday. Butter. But it would be awesome to be able to uh get my slide hop down. I'm so glad iishiii came in and talked with us. I'm gonna start making Titanfall content on YouTube again. We'll stream a couple times a week again, and I'm also gonna stream Fortnite in addition to that. So it's you know it's it's the plan. I will see you guys. I'm on the float trip this weekend, so I won't see you guys on Saturday. I am going to stream Sunday night, though. So I hope to see some of you guys, if not all of you, there Sunday night. So everyone have a fantastic Friday, fantastic weekend, and I will see you then. Peace.